This time on the Gadget Show, it's the ultimate tested to destruction.
We commandeer high-speed powerboats, helicopters, and even tanks.
In a high-octane special, the entire Gadget Show crew set out on a mission to try and destroy the world's toughest gadgets.
This isn't just any tested to destruction, it's the ultimate tested to destruction.
Are you swimming? You are, love.
Also this time, I compete with home and away star Rebecca Breeze to find the top 5 Gadget Games.
I'm joined by DJ Mark Goodyear to test out the best ways to stream music round your house.
I quite like that.
And I head for Canada to check out a very, very cool off-roader, the DTV Shredder. It's part Caterpillar track, part snowboard, and 100% adrenaline. Wow!
Welcome to the Gadget Show.
On this, a truly momentous occasion, because for the first time ever on the Gadget Show sofa, 5 Gadget Show presenters.
Yes!
Hey.
It's brilliant when you think about it. I don't know why we didn't do it before. You know, Channel 5, 5 presenters.
What are you saying?
Got a sort of, you know, just like a proper shape to it. It's like a circle of life. It's brilliant. Sorry.
OK, I think you've probably gathered by now that we are now 5 Gadget Show presenters, and I would officially like to welcome Pollyanna to the Gadget Show studio. Welcome.
Yes, indeed. Welcome, Pollyanna.
Well, thank you, guys. Dead excited. Can't believe I'm here. Looking forward to being part of the Gadget Show.
That's probably enough. Just, you know, don't build your part up, love. All right. Hey, I got you something, actually, just to make sure that you're a proper member of the team. All right, that's from me to you.
eBay, brilliant.
Awesomeness.
Thanks.
OK, but today's show, seriously, is so cool, you'll probably need to watch it wearing a sweater.
Yes, it's about what happens when something like this
Meet something like this.
And possibly something like this.
Yes, and this.
Yes, we're talking about tough gadgets that can,
I have no idea.
or can't take a severe pounding when we test them to destruction.
Over the years, we've created some pretty harsh tests for tough tech. But this time we wanted to set up the biggest, meanest test of rugged gadgets that the Gadget Show and the world has ever seen. The ultimate tested to destruction.
The first stage was a trial by water, and we'd been told to rendezvous at Poole Harbour to collect our instruments of doom, some dangerously sexy powerboats.
Wow.
It's amazing.
It is, isn't it? Billions of pounds of nautical real estate.
Hey, hi guys, how you doing? Woohoo! Check it out. Just call me JB, all right? It's like a spy movie, innit? Look at it. Massive boats, beautiful women, freaky-looking baddies.
Thanks, Jay.
This is awesome.
Don't you find these dinner jackets rather heavy while you're swimming?
Polyester, this one, you see. Drip dry.
Do you know what? Let's just talk about the gadgets.
All right.
We wanted to test pretty much every kind of rugged gadget available, and we'd each brought what we thought would be the toughest contenders.
I'd chosen 3 stills cameras.
This one, waterproof for 3 metres, this one's waterproof to 6 metres, this one's waterproof to 10 metres, and it's actually got tough written on it.
Wow. I had 2 rugged camcorders and a pair of sunglasses. Shades with indestructible lenses used by the military.
I'd brought 2 tough phones and a G-Shock watch. Looks like this is going to do the job and withstand anything, so we'll have to wait and see.
And I'd brought a ruggedized tablet PC and a well-armed USB stick. Look at this. This is the real contender. It hurts me just to hold it. It's a USB memory stick. Plus, I'd been asked to bring an extra secret consignment. The Roberts radio, which you can see there, it's sort of meant for building sites and stuff like that. A bouncy GPS and a very strong-looking torch. But I can't tell you who it's for. All right, it's a secret contact on the shore.
It's Susie.
Yeah, right.
Jason and I took the first boat, plus all the gadgets in a big net. You're going to get wet, James!
Polly was right. I would get wet, but that ain't a problem for a secret agent. Push the thing forward! Let's go!
While Jason and Polly were posing on their deck, John and I were getting into position so we could use our boat to try and soak them to the bone.
Right, let's have them!
The chase was on.
We hung the net over the side to expose our gadgets to the spray the boats were kicking up.
It was a nice idea, but we thought they needed to get a lot wetter.
This was fantastic. The boats created a huge amount of spray and our gadgets were getting absolutely drenched, not to mention the presenters.
Nice! That's a good plan.
Only 10 of our rugged gadgets actually claim to be fully waterproof. The rest, splash-proof or water-resistant.
Let's get him again. Get him. Oh, God! That's the one we wanted. The soap.
It was fair to say our gadgets had been comprehensively watered.
Oh, yes!
Time to check if they'd survived.
There we go. Yes. Let's look at the tech, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty wet, isn't it?
Yeah. It feels good.
That's soaking.
I don't know if it's wet enough. Hang on, let's just get it really proper.
More wet?
How's that?
Jason? Oh.
No, we're going to get... Tell you what, Polly, how are you at swimming? You all right, love? I'm found!
Life jacket works.
That's quite wrong.
The tech worked, look.
Back in the marina, we toweled off our tech and put it to the test.
My drift camcorder, said to be waterproof to 0.5 metre, had found our splash testing a bit too vigorous.
It will not turn on.
I was gutted. Neither of my phones would even switch on, despite both claiming to be water resistant. Do you know what? Nothing's happening.
I too was having problems. The splash-proof rugged tablet that had looked hard as nails was a goner. Look, that's
my word.
That's never a good sign when you turn on your PC, is it?
10 of our original 14 gadgets had made it through the water test, with John and Susie each having a 100% success rate. But would they make it through the rest of the day? And where the heck was Susie?
There you go. How about that? Is it just me, or is it because it was Polly's first big shoot they rolled out the James Bond boat in the helicopter? Hey? Anyway, look, we lost 2 gadgets each, didn't we? Didn't do too well.
Yeah, absolutely.
My USB stick got through, though, which doesn't surprise me because it's built like a rock. Look at it.
And my G-Shock watch is waterproof, so...
Yeah, you'd expect it to get through.
Yeah, but John and I fared a little bit better because all 3 of our gadgets went through.
Absolutely, and I'm not really that surprised the cameras got through because they are, after all, designed to cope with that sort of thing, and they did.
Still impressive, though.
Yeah. OK, I'm not surprised these 2 did because they're supposed to be waterproof, but I am surprised that this Robert's radio got through because it's not like you go swimming with your radio, is it?
But it's like our sort of studio cat, isn't it? It's always around. We've put it through so many tests over the years and it always comes through.
Yeah, let me sit it on her lap.
Yes, let's stroke
And give it a stroke. Yeah, there you go. My shades and my camcorder both got through, but which of the 10 will survive the next phase of our ultimate tested to destruction?
Welcome back. Now I want to talk to you about music streaming. These days, many of us have abandoned CDs entirely and store our whole music collections on our computers. One big advantage of this is that with the help of a bit of Wi-Fi, we can now stream our music right round our house to any and every room. Brilliant! But as ever, the big question is, which system should you choose?
To test them, I invited renowned DJ and gadget fan Mark Goodyear to help me set up a wireless house of music.
Mark, come on in. Presumably you have a massive collection of digital music.
I do. Every time I get a CD, I rip it on my iMac and it forms part of a, I must say, rather large digital library.
You must be one of the most demanding digital music consumers there is, and the ideal person to test these systems.
Let's give it a go.
There are 3 basic gadgets you need for setting up home music streaming. Your computer with your music library on it.
There's Justin Timberlake there.
I think we'll go with Buster Booth then, obviously.
Your Wi-Fi network to send the music round the house. And the most important bit, a system of receivers, one for each room you want to stream your music to.
Right, well, let's start with the cheapest, Apple's Airport Express.
Yes, I know it well. It doesn't have a loudspeaker, so you plug it into an audio device.
The Airport Express uses Apple's AirTunes system. The Airport Express is a nifty multitasking gadget that can be used as a music streaming receiver or a home Wi-Fi router. With them all plugged in, it was a simple matter of following the instructions on the software to connect them to our computer. Then we could control the music through iTunes.
So, what should we play?
Let's play Madonna music.
Brilliant.
OK, we can hear it in here.
Excellent, that's good. Brilliant. Likewise.
Yeah, sounding good.
And the bedroom.
Give it some welly, go on.
Good.
So you're lounging in bed,
Yes.
and you want to change the song or you want to change the playlist, but you don't want to have to go all the way through to the computer in the lounge, so what do you do?
Well, you don't have to go all the way through to the computer because if you're a fully paid up member of the Apple system,
Which I am.
and you've got an iPod Touch or an iPhone, you can use it as a remote. So you can select a different track. I think we'll have some U2. There it is.
Sounds good. It really does work, doesn't it?
But a major drawback is you can't send different tunes to different receivers. I wouldn't necessarily want to listen to what my children were playing, for example.
And they certainly wouldn't want to listen to what you would like to listen to.
Almost certainly. So, Mark liked the fact that the Apple system would fit in with the kit he already had, but wanted more versatility. Could our next system from Logitech win him over? It's a receiver, but also a controller. You can browse all your music on the Touch's screen. As you'd expect from the name, they come with a touch screen. They also come with a remote as well.
For those who can't be bothered to use their finger to touch the screen.
Indeed, but
Yeah.
I think we should leave that to one side and concentrate on setting them up using the touch screen alone.
Quite right, too.
Unlike the Apple, you don't have to connect any of the receivers to your wireless router. They can go anywhere. You just have to connect them to your speakers.
It's quite easy to set up. The menus are quite navigable, and also I like how it looks. I mean, the screen's good. It's...
Yes, and it's a much more comprehensive sort of system than the Apple one. You're much more configurable. Let's listen to something. Everything should be playing the same.
It's slightly out of sync, actually.
The only way we could overcome the problem was to skip the track forward to the next song.
It's slightly maddening that first time when you play it, it's out of sync.
It's a slightly disappointing out-of-the-box experience. Of course, you don't have to have it all in sync. If you go to Synchronize, press No Sync, and then you can have different tunes in different rooms.
It's almost like being DJ. I quite like that.
An added advantage of the touchscreen is that it can be used for apps like Facebook or as a photo frame.
Are you happy for people to see these pictures?
Well, I am. I can't remember taking that one. That's somebody else's. But would these fancy extras mean a win for the Squeezebox Touch, or would our third and most expensive system impress Mark more? Sonos make a range of receivers, and this Zone Player S5 is the latest. Each unit has 5 built-in speakers, as well as the necessary wireless receiver, which means we can put these speaker and receiver units wherever we like. You connect each Zone Player to the wireless network by pressing buttons on the top. Well, there are 2 ways to control it. You can either use Sonos's official controller, which costs about 300 quid, or you can use the free app for the iPhone.
And I suppose if you've bought all this kit, you might think that having the official gadget is worth having. OK, into our Gadget Show playlist. Play now.
The music started playing without any delay, and for such compact speakers, the sound was very good.
I wanna dance with my baby.
Straight away, the sound is in a different league, isn't it?
Operating all 3 units was easy, using the intuitive controller.
Immaculately in sync.
Oh, brilliant.
Perfect.
Hey, Mr. DJ, put the record on.
Playing a different song in each room was equally simple.
Very appropriate. You know these lyrics better, don't you?
What do you think, though, is the best of the 3?
Do you know, I really like this. It's simple to set up, it sounds good, it's a well thought out bit of kit.
No, I agree. Easy to set up, easy to use, and definitely sounds superb. So it's 3 Gs for AirTunes, a simple and easy option only let down by the fact that you can only stream 1 track on it at a time. 3 again for the Logitech Squeezebox Touch. Its smooth menu and extra apps couldn't make up for those problems with sync. But the winner with 5 Gs is the Sonos Zone Player S5. Fabulously simple to set up and control with great sound.
OK, now you might remember that last week we relaunched our campaign to try and get ISPs, that's internet service providers, in the UK to try and be a little bit more upfront about the speeds that we can expect to get when we buy broadband. Specifically, what we're unhappy with is the use of the phrase up to in front of things like, 8 megabits, because we think it's misleading.
Yeah, you're not likely to get that, are you?
Not at all.
In your dreams, perhaps.
In fact, the advertised speeds that say up to 8 meg were found to be on average a paltry 3.3 meg. And telecoms watchdog Ofcom have discovered that the gap between actual broadband speeds and speeds being advertised by the ISPs are growing.
Yeah, but don't take our word for it. You can check the speed of your own broadband by going to the Gadget Show website. That's 5.tv/Gadget Show.
There you'll find we've installed our very own speed checker, so you can check the broadband speeds you're actually getting and compare them to the speeds your ISP is charging you for. To be accurate, you should log on at different times of the day. Then you can tell us about it using our online survey.
We want you to help us with our campaign to persuade ISPs to change their sluggish ways.
The poll's really important because that gives us the tangible information that we can take to the ISPs or Ofcom or the Advertising Standards Authority.
Yeah.
And we really hope that they are going to try and persuade the ISPs to get rid of the phrase up to completely.
Yeah, so get involved. Go onto the website, check your speed and get involved with the poll because ultimately, at the end of the day, it's us lot that suffer, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Next up, a trip to Canada. My trip to Canada to team up with the weird offspring of a small tank and a skateboard.
Nice.
Yeah. I can pretty much guarantee that you haven't seen the like of this before, unless, of course, you've been able to successfully splice together the DNA of a small tank and a skateboard.
Nice.
Skankboard.
Now, Canada probably isn't the first country you'd think of when the phrase world-beating tech is mentioned, but you'd be surprised. The electron microscope, the pacemaker, and the zipper were all invented here. And now, the DTV Shredder. It's an all-action, all-terrain vehicle, and whether it's on snow, mud, or dirt, this thing really shifts. It's been made by a pair of 21-year-olds, Ryan Fairhead and Ben Gerlach. But this is no college project. In just a year, they've built 3 prototypes and raised $250,000 to stick it into production.
Me and my partner, we wanted to make a new kind of all-terrain vehicle, something that was all-season, where you didn't need a whole bunch of equipment and money to go and actually enjoy the outdoors. So we wanted something that was small and compact, that still had the power of other motorsports. And that's where we came up with this tracked all-terrain design.
It looks fantastic. Do you mind if I have a go?
Yeah, absolutely.
In all the time I've been on Gadget Show, any tech that we've had that requires a start with a bit of elbow grease, I have failed, okay? But I'm in Canada. I'm feeling good. This time it's gonna work, right? Oh! Yeah! Okay, so I'm gonna step on. Let's go, man! This prototype is powered by a 16 brake horsepower go-kart engine, which gives it a top speed of around 30 miles an hour and allows it to tow a car. Okay, it really is like riding a tank. But for the production shredder, they're going to fit a 48 brake horsepower engine, which would be mental. I'm not too sure you'd want to go much faster off-road, but that extra oomph would certainly help with power sliding the corners. I'm really scared. Going over that, woo, my heart went, but I half expect it to run away from underneath me, but it is remarkably stable. It does take some getting used to. Whoa, whoa. It really does work the arms as well. Get out of the way! Oh. And it's very capable of going quite quickly as well. Woo! Okay. It's a bit temperamental. I mean, it's still a prototype. Doesn't like doing things very slowly. Works great at full throttle, but when you're taking things a little bit pedestrian, it's not so happy. So I've had to get off and start it again. So who will buy it? Well, the American military are really interested, both as manned transport and as a possible remote-controlled vehicle. But there's also a lot of interest from the extreme sport and recreational market. The big advantage it has over things like snowmobiles and motorbikes is that it can be used all year round, and it's small enough to be carried in the back of a car. So much fun! Hey guys, can I buy one?
Welcome back. Now it's time for a top 5, and this week I'm looking at games. Not computer games, not video games. Gadget Games, and by the nature of their name, they are, of course, competitive. So I needed to find myself an opponent so that I could pick my top 5, and it had to be somebody really competitive because, as you well know, I am a crack shot. There are more Gadget Games than ever around at the moment, so I got together the best, headed to a sports hall and recruited some help to choose a top 5. This is Home and Away star Rebecca Breeds, who hit our screens as Summer Bay's Ruby Buckton back in 2008.
I love this game.
We tested the games for their gadget credentials, fun factor and longevity.
That is creepy.
The 5 that kept us entertained the most would get through. So, it's to see who can get the most points against each other, so very competitive. So I'm going to be home and you're going to be away. Home and away. At number 5, it's Bop It. It's so simple, you just keep in time with the beats while pressing the buttons as directed. But it gets faster, and faster, and faster.
Laugh a little bit more.
You need lightning quick reactions and a wicked sense of rhythm if you're going to beat this.
Winner!
And that's 1-0 to the home team. At number 4, it's the Raboni iRobots. These are fully programmable interactive robots with 16 built-in sensors.
That's really cute.
You can control them to collect points by passing over coloured markers or by attacking your opponent's robot.
Come on! No! Yes! 1 for the Australians.
No! At number 3, it's the Nerf Dart Tags, an interactive 2-person shoot-'em-up game. You each wear a Velcro scoring vest and load your gun with foam darts. Then take aim and fire. The darts are so lightweight, they can hit your opponent from up to 30 feet away.
Oh, I'm out! I'm out! No!
That's a win to Great Britain.
Oh, yeah! Rack those points up.
At number 2, it's tactical board game Ket. The object of the game is to illuminate your opponent's pharaoh by bouncing your laser beam off the mirrored playing pieces.
Wow, you could be on this for hours.
You each take turns moving or turning pieces to create a continuous path for the laser to follow. If the beam strikes a non-mirrored surface, that piece is removed from the board. With some careful planning, you can remove all of your opponent's pieces and light up his pharaoh.
You got your pharaoh. Does that mean you lose?
At number 1, it's the latest incarnation of Revo Maze. Inside the cylinder is a metal core, which has a labyrinth carved out of it, and you have to navigate your way around it. But it's not as easy as it sounds. It's like cracking a bank vault.
It really is.
The maze is full of dead ends and traps. One wrong move sends you back to the start. You have to rely on your memory to solve a maze that you can't actually see.
Oh, it's so sensitive.
This is without doubt the most annoying game ever. And with the score still at 2-2, it looked like we weren't going to find a winner anytime soon. We could be here for a long time. Do you ever want to come back later?
Great top 5, Susie. And I think of the gadgets you tested, there's some great ones there, but the Revo Maze is definitely the number 1.
Oh, good. I'm glad you said that because I found it quite difficult because I loved it and hated it all at the same time.
That's puzzles, isn't it?
because it's really tricky.
Yeah. It is an extremely original concept, though, albeit one that's rather hard to do.
Well, when you think about how many hundreds and thousands of different physical puzzles there are out there, obviously the most famous being the Rubik's Cube, the concept of a cylindrical maze is really original and needs to be applauded, I think.
Agreed. Right, time now to return to this week's block-busting challenge in which we all join forces to take on the might of some of the toughest gadgets around.
Yes, it's a little something that we call
Ultimate Tester to Destruction.
And the ultimate bit refers specifically to the fact that we got to choose a bunch of gadgets that we personally thought stood a chance of getting right through to the end of the test.
First up, we commandeered 2 Sunseeker speedboats, and we gave the gadgets a good drenching.
Oh, yes.
Out of my 2 phones and my watch, only the watch survived.
However, all of my 3 waterproof cameras survived, as I expected them to. Ha!
He's chuffed to bits, bless him.
All 3 of my gadgets, my GPS, my torch and my radio survived. Ha!
One of my rugged camcorders and my indestructible lenses survived.
You can't hack because they didn't all survive.
I took a bit of a beating, really, so I'm not going to be doing your ha-ha. You know, I lost my my rugged tablet thingy. That was just, you know, down the toilet. But this little fella, my USB rugged memory stick, survived, and actually I had high hopes for this.
Jace, we're still hanging in there, aren't we?
Absolutely hanging in there, girlfriend.
Who would be the last man standing? The next round in our ultimate Tested to Destruction would prove to be a truly shattering experience. Fresh from a thorough soaking, we gathered our remaining gadgets together for the shock test at a location suggested by Jason.
Just
what are we
stand
waiting
here.
for now, Jess?
Just, if you can just stand here, guys, just get yourselves organised there.
OK.
We're waiting for this.
Agent Bradbury, this is Agent Moneyberry incoming.
Roger that!
Jason's not the only one who harbours fantasies of being a secret agent. And like every good Maverick spy, I commandeered a helicopter as my weapon of choice in this round.
Oh yeah, they're gonna love this. You see, to test for shock properly, you've got to drop your gadgets from a decent height.
Team!
This is a nice entrance.
Thank you.
Isn't this overkill? I mean, even the ones that are shockproof only going to be shockproof to about 1 metre or 2 metres. I mean, it's ridiculous.
John, come on!
Dude, make an effort, Lou. I've turned out like this. Old Monkey Boots has come here. Sorry, Agent Money Perry in our helicopter. I say we use the helicopter and we really test these things to destruction.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I'm here. I thought I'd take them up to 80 feet, drop them out one by one, and then you guys could pick them all up and see which ones survive.
Perfect.
Right, in that case,
Okay.
good luck, cameras. Good luck, camcorder.
Universal Serial Bus.
Here we go. Come on, then. With each gadget bagged up to prevent their insides from scattering over several counties, it was time for them to meet their doom.
Okay, here we go. How tough is the Olympus tough?
The Olympus claimed to be the toughest of my 3 cameras, shockproof to 2 metres. The Pentax was shockproof to 1.2 metres, and the Fuji only to 1.
Smackdown!
Sunglasses, can you take the pace?
That's gotta hurt.
Next up, the Kodak.
My Kodak PlaySport camcorder has a rubberized body but claims no particular shock resistance. Could it possibly survive?
Ow!
Right, here's the G-Shock. We've tested this loads on the show. Really rugged.
Whoa!
3, 2, 1. Woohoo! The Garmin sat-nav.
My Garmin Oregon GPS had already proved itself to be waterproof. Built for the outdoors, I had high hopes.
My torch.
My Duracell LED torch is made from aircraft-grade aluminium with a lens cap that claims to be shatterproof. No! And finally, the trusty Roberts radio.
The big one! Yes! Yes!
Gosh, that's broken.
Right, let's go check them and see if they survived.
Grab a battery, guys.
You're not going to still try, are you, Jace?
Absolutely 100%, man. Despite our best efforts, the Roberts was beyond repair. But what about the rest?
Hey! Oh, it's such fun.
The radio speaks for itself.
I saw that.
Yeah. There's your torch.
Yeah, your GPS.
That's your GPS as well. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to test my Kodak. Did it survive our drop? Yes, it did, baby! Let's record John.
My Olympus and Pentax were still in working condition.
Pillows. Yeah, it's good.
Not so my Fuji. It's not looking quite as healthy as the others. It's looking a bit fuzzy. Actually, I don't know if the focus is working.
There we are. My shades were down, but were they out?
They're scratched.
They're indestructible. Look.
They're completely useless.
Look, they are not. I can see perfectly through them.
My G-Shock watch says that this is mud and shockproof, and it's working perfectly.
It's in immaculate condition,
isn't it?
Both my GPS and torch were in perfect working order.
But I only had one last hope, the USB stick. Yay! The extreme key still in the game.
Nice.
There's Otis's beautiful little face.
That's me atop the Pap of Glencoe.
Nice.
So I've got 2 through.
I've got 1 through.
I've got 1.
I've got 1.
And I've got 2.
Right.
You know what that means, don't you?
Yes, let's move on to the next test.
They still work.
No. You can include those glasses if I can include this radio.
Oh, please. No dice.
Absolutely not.
I'm jolly proud of my cameras. I mean, 2 of them are still working absolutely perfectly.
Good for you, Johnny boy. I am equally proud of my USB Lacy Extreme key thingy because no, it's blemishless.
I must admit, I'm impressed with that, but my G-Shock watch is brilliant.
Yeah, how come it looks brand new?
Gadget TLC, Jace.
Oh,
okay.
Is that what it is? Well, my rugged camcorder is still fully operational.
Yeah, and I've still got my Duracell torch and my Garmin sat-nav.
I think we need to up the ante.
I do, because we've got a whole bunch of gadgets that have survived those 2 tests. We need to get really medieval for the final one.
Yes.
We plunged them off the Dorset coast from high-speed powerboats, chucked them out of a helicopter.
Tick that box as well.
Could we be more brutal?
Yes, we could, Polly. Because it's time for the big finish.
Yes, it was time to roll out the big guns.
Or at least it will be after this short break.
Yeah, do not go anywhere. Well, maybe, if you need the loo, that would be silly, wouldn't it? But make sure you're back. You don't want to miss this.
Welcome back to the final part of the ultimate tested to destruction.
Yeah, you see, on the Gadget Show, when a manufacturer says that they've got a rugged laptop or an indestructible phone, it's like a red rag to a bull, and we like to test them at their word.
So we mounted a monumental tested to destruction challenge.
We drowned them in the sea.
We've dropped them from a helicopter.
Yes, and I talk quite harshly to mine.
But amazingly, believe it or not, all of that wasn't enough to put paid to some of the toughest gadgets we'd ever tested.
We still had 7 gadgets that were working, and they were proving tough ones to crack.
And as this is the ultimate tested to destruction, now this means war.
Yeah, you're right, John. I think it's time I brought out the button.
No,
No, seriously. I'm taking the safety cap off the button.
Don't, Jason.
I'm going to push the button. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Ah, it's broke.
Why don't we just play the video?
It was time for our final challenge. We've already tested our gadgets way beyond their capabilities. What could we possibly throw at them that they hadn't already survived? Right, chaps, we've still got all of these gadgets.
Yep.
We need a really extreme test for our final one. Definitely.
Just leave it to me. Come on, then! Oh, yeah! Oh, my Lord! Nice! What about this?
Wow!
Yay!
Possibly be thinking of blowing them up with a tank, though.
Absolutely!
You know what? I don't want to burst your bubble, but technically it is illegal.
Isn't there a specific rule about not being able to handle
There's
ammunition?
a few rules and regs, you know, by out of word, filled out a couple of forms, yeah? Didn't file them, all right? I reckon we can make this work.
How?
Yeah, well, look, my idea is, look, I'm desperate to make this whole Bond movie thing work, and this is my final opportunity, so just go with the man in the tux, all right? Yeah. I'll chase you in a tank, I'll try and shoot you, miss you, and blow our gadgets up. It's brilliant.
I'm not sure I trust you to be
No,
honest.
honestly, just go with it.
Working with you, you're going to miss us.
Honestly, just go, trust me on this, come on. This is my ride, that's your one over there.
To make Jason's spy movie tank chase explosion finale sequence come true, we arranged our 7 remaining gadgets in an enormous crate, which apparently Jason said would act as our sinister secret consignment.
We rigged the crate with movie effect pyrotechnics, genuine explosives that would not only subject our gadgets to violent shockwaves, but also searing heat and flames.
I reckoned my Lacy Extreme key was the most likely to make it through, being made to withstand temperatures from -50 to a scorching 200 degrees.
My Olympus and Pentax were both freeze-proof to -10 degrees, but said nothing about high temperatures.
Neither did my G-Shock, despite being freeze-proof to -20.
As for the rest, they'd have to rely on their rugged exteriors and a massive dose of luck.
Finally, we were ready. It was time for my awesome spy film ultimate fantasy car chase tankathon. Action! All right, Skipper, wind this bad boy up.
Left-hand turn, right!
This way! Point at you!
gadgets had been blasted in all directions, but I quickly spotted Susie's GPS.
Looks quite protective. Let's see if it switches on. Are you ready?
Oh, no way!
The Garmin survived.
Impressive.
I've got me,
Navigate to Birmingham.
got me Kodak. Waterproof to 3 meters. Is it explosive proof?
It looks in very good nick.
Take a picture of him. That's brilliant. I found my cameras, which, despite looking rather charred, still took perfect pictures.
Is it going to come open? Ooh, there's Tom.
Yes!
And my USB stick was still fully operational.
It's there. 2 pictures on it. One of you lot on top of some mountain, and the one of Otis is on there as well. So that's superb, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Has anyone seen my watch? Oh, cool. All right, it's absolutely trashed.
It's not, you know.
I think it's working.
It is. The only one left to find was my torch.
Does it actually switch on? That's the point.
Unbelievable.
Having survived being keel-hauled, dunked, jettisoned from a helicopter and blown sky high in a ball of flames, these 7 gadgets must be the toughest we've ever tested.
What a crazy result that was. 7
Bonkers.
gadgets survived all of that destruction.
They are the ultimate 7.
They are.
Aren't they? I mean, I've been looking for a solution for keeping my family photos safe in the event of a house fire or flooding, and actually, this little lace extreme is the perfect solution. So, actually, a lot of good has come out of it. A lot of good, very, very good things
Have come out of this one stick.
Now, at the end of it, I have 2 cameras working out of my original 3 cameras.
I have my torch and my
and the
GPS.
sat-nav.
But, John, I have to say, I think the ultimate winner today, is the gadget.
I agree.
Absolutely. Well, they are for today. However,
Hang on.
things are going to change.
That's right, because in a few weeks we are going to put the surviving 7 of this week's ultimate tested to destruction to the ultimate, to the power of 10 tested to destruction. Yeah.
We might need to work on the name.
A more ultimate word than ultimate.
Yeah.
But that's all we've got time for this week's show. So until we find a word that's better than ultimate, we'll see you next time. What are you doing?
They're tested to destruction, guys.
So do the song.
Tested to destruction. Tested to
See you next time.